This is a live image of our sun, and you can see on the right hand side them solar flares. And also in front of the sun, the solar flares that are taking about 8 minutes to get to our Earth. As I said in one of my last videos, our magnetic field of the Mother Earth is weakening every day. And today, this afternoon at 3 PM, you can see the reflections of Nemesis. You can see those reflections at the left side of the sun. It's like a very, on the chemtrail, you can see basically the red and the yellow reflections. Look at these CMEs. These blasts are heading our way now. The sun is at the solar maximum. We are in deep trouble with the solar flares right now. The government and military are trying their hardest with those chemplanes to try and protect us, to cover the sun, and to cover the binary twin, because they've lied all through their lives and said that we are not in a binary system, which we are. Our sun is becoming twice as hot, white hot. Please look at the sun when it rises in the morning. You can see how it's burning through them chem clouds, and the natural clouds are being burnt. The hydrogen is completely being burnt off them. Today, the 22nd of the 12th, 2016, all the skies around the world are red, and basically Nemesis is activating with our sun. It's causing the sun's core to burn twice as hot. More earthquakes are being reported all around the world again. And it's so important that we get this message out to show people that this is a real event. It is serious. And they want to pull the wool over our eyes, as I said. We must all stand together, and I will be doing a show talking through this situation with Jeff P, Steve Olson, and Scott Nibiru, Planet X Channel 2016. Respectable guys that are all getting the truth out there. So it's a situation now where we just got to keep our eyes to the skies, because our sun is burning twice as hot. Here is a live cam in Sydney, in Australia. Can you see the horizon? You can see the horizon there. That's Nemesis in the background. You can see where they're using that object to cover the sun in front of it. Also, that purple object up at the right hand side at the 1 o'clock position isn't lens flare. Everything else there, you can see these triangular shapes, diamond shapes, they're lens flare. But look on the background and look at the darkness, and look at the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You can see basically the area is so dark. It's getting very dark. And today I went into town here in the UK, and I seen them chemtrails on the horizon about 3 PM in the afternoon. And I saw an object that was trying to show itself at the left side of the sun, a bit further down. It was chemtrailed, but you could see the reflection coming through, the redness and the yellowness. Many others must have seen this today. I'm based northeast of the UK, and it was blatantly there, so others must have seen it. It's time now to look up. Early morning to about 3 PM in the afternoon, you will see the heavenly body at the left of the sun. This is another image of the Sydney cam. You can see on the horizon on the right hand side, there's an object behind those clouds. Now they chemtrail in the morning on the horizon, so you don't get to see these objects. But on the right hand side, Nibiru will be there. Now the thing is though, they are putting these clouds up there so you can't see anything. On this Mayu cam in Hawaii, you can see how the clouds are so low. Now these clouds have been reported to be very, very low all across the world now. It's so interesting that we show these other images around the world. Can you see the reflections on the sea from behind that cloud? But these clouds are getting seriously low now, and it's so important to look at this because they weren't as low as that last year. Here we are again at the Venice Beach cam. Now look on the sky and the skyline, you can see the pinkness there in the reflections. And also again the sky is so dim, the darkness on the ground. Look at the timestamp, 11:25 AM. It's too dark. It is too dark. the sun is being affected by the binary twin, and these clouds are proving it now. They're being pushed down. Look at this current photo on these Connecticut cams. You can see the darkness there and the haze. The sun is burning the hydrogen off the clouds, and the oxide dust coming through on the horizons. It's all over the horizons now. Many people are now starting to look up, and it's very good. And I believe government is starting to slowly get down in their underground cities, because you can see here on this image the red reflections of the binary twin. It's so important that we look at the reflections as well. The skies have changed. The blueness is disappearing. It's more like a silvery grey in a haze of wateriness. The skies are being burnt now from all over the world. Here's another Miami and beach camps. They're over in the USA as well. You can see here as well. It's dark. You've got that yellow tint that's reflecting on all the boats there and the buildings. And those natural clouds are being burnt away. They're chemtrailing, and I've noticed now that the smaller trail chemtrails, they're not contrails, these are chemtrails. These planes are trying to show that they're contrail planes, but they're not. They are chemtrailing as well by the sun. You see about 5 or 6 of them with small trails, but they are doing just as bad as what the long chemtrails are doing. They're just trying to make themselves look more like natural planes, but they're not. There still are the military that's up there doing this job. They're covering the system. It's just blatantly there now. These reflections are there now. The sun is reflecting all wrong. It's too dark all across the world. As you can see on the timestamp, 2:31 p.m. Miami is supposed to be very, very bright there now. It's so important that, as I said before, that we need to tell this situation to everybody to get the truth out there. Going back to the pink haze that I've been telling people, and also this pinkness on the land, you can see the reflection. Let me just tell you something. It's very important that this pink haze is coming in like a runaway train. Now, sooner or later in the next few months, this haze is going to get much redder. And people are going to turn their shoulder and look up at the skies and think, hold on, this isn't right. Now, the ones that are wide awake to this have seen the system changed, seen the weather changes all around the world. The past 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, things have changed. The people that are basically going about their lives look at the system because, as I said before, us humans are strong to the weather. We can cope with it. But sooner or later, these red reflections for the Nemesis and the Nibiru system, it's going to cut through those clouds. And there's going to be huge reflections everywhere. And the chem planes won't be able to hide it anymore. So basically, it's so important that we see these reflections, because they're coming in stronger each and every day. Here's the famous area, Sandy Hook. And also government pulled off a lot of lies on false media, fooling the public, and now they're doing it to the skies. Look at the left side of the sun, that's the sun reflection, and down on the horizon, this lowered chemtrail toxic cloud. You can see the Nemesis system that's there illuminating at the bottom right corner. Now these clouds are affecting everything. They're affecting the plant life, the crops. People, we are eating these crops that are being produced in our foods to go to the stores and the Walmarts. These chemicals are in everything now. And I picked up a good friend of mine today at the train station here locally where I am. And I haven't seen him since early summertime. And basically he came over for Christmas. And I was shocked when I saw him. He looks he looks ill. He doesn't look very well. He looks different. And he's a very fit man. And basically it's a situation where I believe that these chemtrails and these chemicals are harming people. They're making them look different. And it's not fair. You know, because there's many good people out there in the world are walking around breathing these chemicals, these toxins in the air, and it's all been reported and documented, but government just want to pull the wool. So unfair. It really is so unfair. Seeing a fit man like that, looking more sort of not as healthy as he was before. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't take drugs. He's just a kind gentleman that's a family member. So basically, we need to basically concentrate on this situation because, as I said before, I've had an email off another subscriber saying that he's got an amplifier and high-tech equipment for speakers and things to start a presentation. And I will, as I said before at the beginning of this video, I'm going to be doing a video with the other team as well, because we are a close community as people. We're all respectable, we've not said a bad word to each other. We all just want the truth, and it's fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start this presentation. Because all around us, it's all happening now. And you can see this. We want to tell our family and we want to tell our friends. It's like we want to scream out and tell the world that what's going on. The government have got the media so tied up now, the news channels, so tied up now to a situation that everybody's got their eyes glued to the channels. These news medias here in the UK and around the whole world, they're believing everything. And we need to try and get people to wake up out of the situation. You're even catching these chemtrails on the St. Louis cam. Look at the timestamp, look at the darkness, and on the horizon, the pinkness. Oh, it's coming. You can see there on the seabed, the sea there. It's coming. You can see the reflections and everything. And sooner or later, it's going to be red. The skies are not going to be blue anymore. They're going to be red, and red all the time. And people are going to think, what's going on? Government made excuses about the blood moon as well, being red. They're reflections from Nibiru and Nemesis. So basically, I'm going to go to the next cam. This is a live cam in Iceland. Now this cam is normally pointing quite high up in the air to the skies. But if you see down the bottom right hand corner, you can see this pinkness and greenness and its reflection. So I'm going to keep an eye on this cam because I've noticed that it rises in the sky. It's a reflection. Now the reflection has been showing everywhere on all each different cams around the world. This cam is called the Peace Tower cam. You can see this light source that's illuminating from the tower. But also as well you can see the difference of these clouds that are still there, hiding the system as usual. They're always there, these chem clouds. This is a live St. Paul cam. You can see the bottom corner there, that reflection. Now the thing is though, look at the chemtrails, what they've been chemtrailing in the morning, in the daytime in the mornings. They've been throwing up all these chemtrails up there. There's now a situation where this live cam will show you the sun. You can see the sun is being affected by this simulator in front of it. And we on Earth can see the darkness of the reflections of what they're covering up on this cam. It's just so important to see the actual liveness of what's going on in different parts of the sky all over the world. And I'm just going to keep my eye on these cams. And I want to say as well that Jeff P, please watch his channel, subscribe to him because he's a fantastic guy. And he shows you all the different situations on different cams all over the world as well. Now here on this cam you can see the dimness and darkness on these buildings. The sun should be shining very bright now on these buildings, but they're not. They're just basically dimming. The sun is dimming because we have our binary twin that's in our inner solar system now with our sun, causing the sun, as I said before, to be in deep trouble basically. Doesn't want the binary twin near it. It wants the binary twin to go away now. Look on the horizon on this cam as well. You can see it's very dark and you can see the pinkness, the haze, where they're pumping the chemtrails up then the first thing in the morning. Look at the land, it's dark. From 1:58 p.m. We know this is happening now. We truly do. Many people just want to just carry on. They don't want to know. Ian Gordon, a respectable subscriber here in the UK that emails me, and he looks at the sun and skies and sends me all the weather reports. He said he spoke to one of the binmen that basically, would come around and help us clear our trash, and basically spoke up and said, our skies, the sun is being affected. Look at it in the sky. And the gentleman who spoke to Ian spoke back and said, I'm not sure, basically, the sun is the sun, but you are right, the skies are changing. He noticed that he's been noticing as well that the earth is darkening. Many others are noticing the earth is darkening. It's happening everywhere now. Our skies are completely changing. Here's another cam that's in the USA as well, and it's very important that we see this cam. Wednesday, and there it is. Well, basically we are in, starts off a Wednesday and then it's basically today, Thursday, 22nd. So basically we're going to go through the day. Look at the change of the skies. How the skies change. Can you see the trash, the reflections on the horizon? Nemesis reflecting off the buildings. You can see that the chem clouds and our clouds are being burnt up there on the skies. Also, you can see the dimness of the sky as well, the dimness of the land. And then you've got this chem fog that comes down, the fog, the haze. There you've got on the left hand side, you've got reflection, but you've got these chemtrails, chem clouds. Look at the darkness and look at the haze in the middle. They're hiding the heavenly bodies. It's just basically flicking through all the chems, flicking through all the channels and looking at all the different images, because all them chemtrails are up there now and they're spraying the skies every day. It's very important. You look through the days on these time cams, just checking the skies and things, because I go back to all the different cams just to check, because one day we're going to see the system. Look here on this cam. You can see also there the redness on the haze in the background. The temperatures are showing high as well on these cams. You can see that oxide, that trash that's coming in. The Nemesis is showing up first on the cam before the sun comes up. Here on this one as well, you can see the lower clouds. And these clouds are like a haze, a watery haze. It's just so important that we go through all the different cam images to get the right footage. As I said before though, some cams we're not going to catch anything because we're tilted back and forth. And you will see most natural skies. And then you get this lower cloud system in the background. So anyway, I'll go to the next cam. Here is the Statue of Liberty cam there in the USA. Now you might not see Nibiru Nemesis there, but you can see the trash in the background on the horizon and the darkness of the skies. The timestamp there being 3:05 p.m. Now this camera is pointing away from the sun. Now at that time of the day, if you look to the left of the sun, you can see a huge reflection. Here are a few buildings that are there near the Statue of Liberty cams. You can see basically this yellowness. The yellowness on the buildings. These are reflections from the heavenly bodies. The sun is not bright as it was before. It's so important that you see these reflections. Now we're in the winter part of Earth's orbit. We are heading close now to the crossing of the Nibiru system. It's just basically looking at all the cams and noticing that they're all the same, all this darkness, this golden textured yellowness. Here is another angle of the Statue of Liberty cams. You can see basically, again, very, very dark. Timestamp 3:07, the same time, and on the horizon this redness, this haze. This Nibiru and Nemesis is reflecting on all our horizons now. Look at the ships. Look at these textures of colour shouldn't be there anymore. We are in December. Still should be very, very bright. And above at the middle of that screen is an object. So we all need to basically keep an eye on these cams. And I'm producing this workout for you, the subscribers and viewers. And as I said before, please watch the Steve Olsen's footage. Fantastic guy over there in the USA. And also you've got Jeff P as well. Fantastic. And Scott, lots of respect to you too as well. Cryptid Star, showing some true images out there. Fantastic. We're all doing a good job, and basically we all need to keep our eye on the skies. And also the images that are coming through are absolutely outstanding from all you kind subscribers. Look at the yellow tint on all these buildings. This tint is basically the simulators set in front of our sun to hide the heavenly bodies. Hello again, and there's the Cleveland cam. Look at the timestamp, 3:13 PM. And look how dark it is. A pink reflection behind those chemtrails, them chemclouds. Early in the morning they spray the skies so we don't see anything. As I said before, them turbine aeroplanes, them turbojet engines, we can't see. And here, it's so quiet because they are so far up in the skies and these settle down low. Can you see how dark it is on this cam as well? The buildings are dark and the sun is dimming. It's all here. Every time I repeat this, and I just want you to know that we are all dimming across the world. You can see here in Seattle, this is a Seattle cam in the USA. The time is 12:15 PM. Look how dark the building is. It's very hot over there, but you can see those clouds. The hydrogen is being burnt off the clouds. And I'll be interested to keep an eye on this cam as well, because I want to see the sun on next, maybe tomorrow or the next day. Hopefully if we do get to see the sun, it's very interesting. But this is a situation now where the clouds are being burnt from our natural sun. The core is absolutely twice as hot now. Here is another Seattle cam. Now this is the one from the tower that we saw. And you can see how interesting it is, because you can see on the right hand side it's very dark and the left hand side is all lighter. Now this cam is a see and end all cam. You can see basically this is solid proof, okay, that we have got a huge problem with the sun and a huge reflection to the left side of the sun. Now I said earlier on in this video that I noticed that there was a heavenly body that was on the left hand side of the sun and the reflection was terrible. It was just too dark. Now if you look at the Soho cam right of the sun, you can see this huge reflection behind the disk, this large dark reflection. Now look at this. I know you can see the two light displays at the front of the screen. The chemtrail to the left, in the middle of that light display. But look to the right, just to the left of the right light display, you can see this darkness. Now this reflection is coming down straight from the skies. This is 100%. Look how dark it is on the land. Now I showed you another cam the other day. The same situation. They're using this simulator. The heavenly body is below the sun. It's coming close now. And on the Mexico cams, the volcano cam where you saw that pink reflection, it's there. This one as well, this screen. It's showing up in the USA. You can see the dimness on the ground, the blackness. It's here. There's no stopping it now. It's getting to a point now, it's getting too big for them to be able to cover it. The military are losing the battle now. To the left you can see the blue sky, but it's dimming. The yellowness of the buildings. But to the right hand side, look how dark it is. Now what more evidence do you need? It's here. It's absolutely here. Look on the far right corner of them buildings at the far distance on the other side of the river. You can see the redness, the haze coming down, the reflections. On the horizon you can see there's another heavenly body, Nemesis, is on the horizon. The redness, the brownness, the trash that's being pulled in. I know basically that them That light displays are like, if we can move them out of the way, we'll get a clearer shot, won't we? Because people would say, nah, it's something to do with the light display that's causing this. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because if you look at the EarthCam logo on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, it's not dark. It's proven basically that we are dimming. In certain parts of the sky is dimming because they're using this cloaking technology there. But it's losing the battle now. These heavenly bodies are much, much bigger than our Mother Earth. They're huge, massive, massive heavenly bodies that are lurking in the solar system, in the inner solar system now. So I urge you to keep an eye on the cams. Please look at this cam as well, the Seattle cam. You can see on the screen yourself. It's not been played with. The footage hasn't been damaged. It's there on this cam, 100%. 3:21 on the 22nd of 2016, Sunnyvale Island beach cam. Now this cam is telling some stories as well, and it's pointing downwards really, but I would like to try to get this sorted where I can get this cam to move upwards if possible. So I'm going to contact EarthCam to see if we can do this. But as again on the land you can see how dark it is for the time. The sea there is dark, and people must be noticing that these shadows are much different than before. Very hot over there as well. Nice to go on holiday to a place like this, but the thing is though, we are getting huge problems with the darkness right now. And it's been reported all over the world, and many people have actually reported that we will go into darkness this time of the year, in 2016. When the pole shifts, these oceans are going to be ripping through the land, 600, 700, 800 miles an hour. Much faster than that. So basically we are on borrowed time. And it's just basically, we need to wake these people up to understand that this situation is real and it's going to happen. Here is what I saw in the UK. Today, in the UK, like this at 4:23 PM, look how hot it is, but look how dark it is. The skies are turning like a yellowy haze. And people around the world are seeing and wondering why it's so dark. Look at the temperature. Come on, NASA, come on, government, you need to tell us now. Don't leave it right to the end, that's so evil of you to do so. We know you've got your underground cities and bunkers. We know you're set up for this now, but come on. Just give us the truth now. The game is up, NASA. The game is up, and you need to tell us, because all of us know what's going on. You can see a reflection just below the sun. There's something there, an object. And to the left, like my good friend Ian Gordon says, and many other channels, it's dark, it's dimming. Look at the silvery haze in the skies. Our sun is now burning twice as hot, and they are cloaking. They're using cloaking technology with satellites up there to hide the Nemesis and Nibiru system. Hellion has also been spotted. I had an email of a kind subscriber who sent in some footage of Hellion as well. So I will put that up on the screen in another video. It's so important that we don't see we notice a lot of the lens flares that are there on the screen as well. We notice this. But you can't be fooled by that situation of the colour of the skies. Below the skies you can see that rounded object, that huge red haze. They're spraying our skies to hide everything. It's so noticeable now. Here on a cam, the Aruba cams. This is near the Bermuda Triangle, the area where there's been military planes and ships and aircraft. People going on their holidays and disappearing. There is a basically situation there where this has been going on for many years, and government don't want you to notice this as well. And also you can see on the camera here, you can see the pinkness through the reflections on the horizons. and the natural clouds just being burnt. They're being burnt by the binary twin and our sun. And you can see also on the ground there, you can see the darkness, the yellowness. It's happening all over the world, as I said before. So it's, again, here is this cam, and it's showing the truth. It's showing that we are darkening now. Here we are again at the Bermuda cam. I showed this cam before, but things are changing drastically. The same timestamp and with the time, it was much lighter on this cam, but you can see how dark it's got. And the plasma behind them clouds. Look, basically, at the end of the day, these clouds are being burnt, the natural clouds. Many parts of the world are not being chemtrailed as well. But the clouds are being burnt every day. It's only a matter of time until everybody will start looking up to the skies. Here again at 3:31 p.m. on this island cam, Kiawak Island. And basically, here again, you can't, it's there, you know, basically the darkness, this yellow haze. Our sun is being affected, and here on this cam, people must be looking up and wondering what's going on, because the darkness is taken over the lightness now. Let the light shine through the darkness. It's true, it's here. The words are 100% true. Something's going to happen very, very shortly. I believe that we are heading into a situation. Nemesis is here now. And it's now eclipsing our sun. It really is. Look how dark it is for the time. It's totally wrong. It's supposed to be bright. It really is supposed to be brighter than this. We're in summer hot weather parts of the world now. They're having their sort of like hot weather now. As the UK now, naturally we will get dark evenings, but not as early as what we're getting them now in the UK. And over there you can see they're getting dark. So this is the icing on the cake situation, and basically we're heading into a situation now. The binary twin is here, and it's dimming our natural sun. It's burning it. It's ripping it apart. It's basically there's huge chunks of the sun coming off, and bits of rock, asteroids, comets, they're spinning around. And the proof is there on the Soho cam. Look at the people walking around. They must be thinking, some of them must be thinking, why is it so dark? We're having the evening skies early in the day. It's so wrong. The whole system is in a situation now where we need to keep our eyes to the skies. Here we have another cam, the CN Tower cam. As we showed you earlier on, this is a famous tower. Now look on the horizons. Look how the Nemesis system is showing through them chem clouds. These chem clouds are thick. Now, if they were lifted and moved away, because they do spray the skies starting at 3 a.m. in the morning, you will see those them planes, if you can catch them. You will see them lined up one behind another and above each other, spraying the skies, so we don't see anything. Because we've got these up-to-date technology of new camcorders and mobile phones that can pick up a lot of things. Look here on the land, you can see the darkness. We are being eclipsed. Most of these cars down at the bottom there, they're using their headlamps. Now, things are getting darker. But as naturally we think that everything's okay, it's just bad weather and it'll go away. It can't go away. These heavenly bodies are bigger than our natural Mother Earth. The darkness is getting to a point now where we can see the reflections, the yellowness, as I said before. These situations are happening now. You have to admit now that these reflections are here now. These pilots down at this airport, you can see on this camera view, I believe that they're noticing these chem planes as well. And most of these pilots are basically complaining about it. Their presentations as well, and standing their ground and knowing that there's something wrong with the skies. And basically, government are just shutting it up, shutting it all down. They don't want us or anybody to know what's going on and what they're doing. Here is another view of the Nemesis system on the horizons. It's so important that you've got to look at this. When them chem clouds move, I will go back to this cam and I will show you 100% that Nemesis and Nibiru are there on the horizons. On this Niagara Falls cam, you can see on the cloud in there, the redness, the reflection of Nemesis and Nibiru is with the sun now. And the darkness on the land, you can see basically it should be a shiny day being the timestamp at 3:40 PM, 37 Fahrenheit. So the Nibiru system is reflecting off a lot of buildings, mist and other seas and all sorts of situations. We're being eclipsed, and this is the 100% truth. People need to wake up to this now. It's very serious. I'm going to leave you now with this last cam. And this is very interesting, as you can see the orangeness and redness on the horizons as well. And the clouds that are far too low. The hydrogen being burnt off the clouds. And the darkness on the land at the timestamp. There's more footage to come, and I will be back again very shortly. And have a nice evening from Matt Rogers. Because our sun is burning twice as hot. Here is a live cam in Sydney, in Australia. Can you see the horizon? You can see the horizon there. That's Nemesis in the background. You can see where they're using that object to cover the sun in front of it. Also, that purple object up at the right hand side at the 1 o'clock position isn't lens flare. Everything else there, you can see these triangular shapes, diamond shapes, they're lens flare. But look on the background and look at the darkness and look at the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You can see basically the area is so dark. It's getting very dark. And today I went into town here in the UK and I seen them chemtrails on the horizon about 3 PM in the afternoon. And I saw an object that was trying to show itself at the left side of the sun, a bit further down. It was chemtrailed, but you could see the reflection coming through, the redness and the yellowness. Many others must have seen this today. I'm based northeast of the UK, and it was blatantly there, so others must have seen it. It's time now to look up. Early morning to about 3 PM in the afternoon, you will see the heavenly body at the left of the sun. This is another image of the Sydney cam. You can see on the horizon on the right hand side, there's an object behind those clouds. Now they chemtrail in the morning on the horizon, so you don't get to see these objects. But on the right hand side, Nibiru will be there. Now the thing is, they are putting these clouds up there so you can't see anything. On this Mayu cam in Hawaii, you can see how the clouds are so low. Now these clouds have been reported to be very, very low all across the world now. It's so interesting that we show these other images around the world. Can you see the reflections on the sea from behind that cloud? But these clouds are getting seriously low now, and it's so important to look at this because they weren't as low as that last year. Here we are again at the Venice Beach cam. Now look on the sky, in the skyline you can see the pinkness there in the reflections. And also again the sky is so dim, the darkness on the ground. Look at the timestamp, 11:25 AM. It's too dark. It is too dark. The sun is being affected by the binary twin. And these clouds are proving it now. They're being pushed down. Look at this current photo on these Connecticut cams. You can see the darkness there and the haze. The sun is burning the hydrogen off the clouds and the oxide dust coming through on the horizons. It's all over the horizons now. Many people are now starting to look up, and it's very good. And I believe This is a live image of our sun, and you can see on the right hand side them solar flares. And also in front of the sun, the solar flares that are taking about 8 minutes to get to our Earth. As I said in one of my last videos, our magnetic field of the Mother Earth is weakening every day. And today, this afternoon at 3 PM, you can see the reflections of Nemesis. You can see those reflections at the left side of the sun. It's like a very, on the chemtrail, you can see basically the red and the yellow reflections. Look at these CMEs. These blasts are heading our way now. The sun is at the solar maximum. We as a government are starting to slowly get down in their underground cities, because you can see here on this image the red reflections of the binary twin. It's so important that we look at the reflections as well. The skies have changed. The blueness is disappearing. It's more like a silvery grey in a haze of wateriness. The skies are being burnt now from all over the world. Here's another Miami and beach camps. They're over in the USA as well. You can see here as well. It's dark. You've got that yellow tint that's reflecting on all the boats there and the buildings. And those natural clouds are being burnt away. They're chemtrailing, and I've noticed now that the smaller trail chemtrails, they're not contrails, these are chemtrails. These planes are trying to show that they're contrail planes, but they're not. They are chemtrailing as well by the sun. You see about 5 or 6 of them with small trails, but they are doing just as bad as what the long chemtrails are doing. They're just trying to make themselves look more like natural planes, but they're not. There still are the military that's up there doing this job. They're covering the system. It's just blatantly there now. These reflections are there now. The sun is reflecting all wrong. It's too dark all across the world. As you can see on the timestamp, 2:30, in deep trouble with the solar flares right now. The government and military are trying their hardest with those chemplanes to try and protect us, to cover the sun, and to cover the binary twin, because they've lied all through their lives and said that we are not in a binary system, which we are. Our sun is becoming twice as hot, white hot. Please look at the sun when it rises in the morning. You can see how it's burning through them chem clouds, and the natural clouds are being burnt. The hydrogen is completely being burnt off them. Today, the 22nd of the 12th, 2016, all the skies around the world are red, and basically Nemesis is activating with our sun. It's causing the sun's core to burn twice as hot. More earthquakes are being reported all around the world again. And it's so important that we get this message out to show people that this is a real event. It is serious. And they want to pull the wool over our eyes, as I said. We must all stand together. And I will be doing a show talking through this situation with Jeff P, Steve Olson, and Scott Nibiru, Planet X Channel 2016. Respectable guys that are all getting the truth out there. So it's a situation now where we just got to keep our eyes to the skies.